Hi, everybody. This is Jessica Bally, and I am going to give my Drama 15 oral presentation. And I chose the play Magic Kingdom. Um, and it was one of our more recent plays, so I figured I would be able to remember it more accurately when discussing it. So, without further ado, I would like to talk about this very short yet still powerful and emotion packed play. Um, it was really short, not really long like some of the other plays that we've read, but it was, in fact, one of my most favorite plays. I think because it really didn't need to be any longer than what it was for it to be powerful. And I thought that that was kind of one of the most interesting aspects of the play was that. But I would like to actually talk about the core theme of this play, which is young love. Um, the play is totally surrounded by this theme. Um, the young couple is they're going on a honeymoon and they're supposed to go to Disneyland. And the whole play starts where they've met up at a bus stop. And their interaction is they're nervous, yet they're excited. It's everything that young love really is about, is that there's all this emotion and excitement, and sparks are flying, and they're just so excited to be in each other's company all the time, as much as they can be, um, which shows that it's very young. They're nervous, they're anticipating what's going to happen in their honeymoon that's going to be taking place in Disneyland. They're kind of talking a little bit about Disneyland, but not most. Most of their conversation is really about planning their life together. And we see this take place in a very safe place. Um, young love is something that it can sometimes act as a cocoon. And the young white girl being 18 and the young black man being 19, they're very young. They haven't experienced a whole lot of life. This is truly young love. I mean, truly. The author couldn't have done a better way of really like portraying that, by the use of the young ages, by the use of kind of their background, which was really neat that they have really similar backgrounds. I loved that because in other plays, we've seen how black and whites can have such these opposite backgrounds. And then in this play, it was like, well, they kind of have like a really common ground. They kind of like, they really come from these very similar backgrounds. They share a lot. They really share a lot. Um, they both come from kind of more less fortunate homes. One has lost their mother, which is the young African American, and then I believe the other girl has lost her mother and is dealing with a single dad, and they're both families are struggling. I mean, both families, it is evident that they are struggling to survive. And we see this young couple within their little cocoon of young love. They're just so safe in there. It just makes me remember of how safe you feel, and how unjaded you are, and just how innocent it is. And so they're in this cocoon, and as they're in this cocoon, this safe zone of young love, they start to dream. They start to talk about aspirations. They start to discuss deep wants and desires within them. And the young man, he describes and talks about how he aspires to be at someday a plumber. And he actually maps out and is like, this is how I'm going to do this, and this, and I'm going to take these steps. And if I can be an apprentice and do this, then it's going to get me to this place. And by him, letting this all out that it's probably never been something that he's really let out before, but because he's in this cocoon, it's safe and exciting, and he feels free to share. And once he shares, it kind of like opens up this whole this whole this whole this word that I really want to use is not coming out right now. Opens up this whole new world. Yeah, whole new world. Thank you. A whole new world, Magic Kingdom, for this other young lady that's, she's never really thought about these things either. And then she's in this safe zone and she's like, well, he's sharing and I've thought these thoughts, so I'm going to share. And she talks about how she, it's going to be hard and they're both going to have to work. And so she says, well, I'll get a job and I'll do more hours. I think she already had a semi job, but she wasn't like fully in it. She was sweeping the floor at a beauty salon. And, they kind of used her here and there when someone else wouldn't come in. But she said, well, I'm going to stick to that. And I'm going to keep going and going and climbing until I become a cosmetologist myself. And like she was talking about how she wanted to, start by shampooing and helping and that type of thing. And he kind of sparked her a little bit and was like, well, I mean, you could be giving those perms and doing all. And she was just like, yeah. So then they have this game plan. They're excited. They're going to Disneyland. I mean, it's all about young love. It was really cute. I hate that word. It was a sweet play. It was a sweet interaction of how two deemed different people can be so alike in the sense that they can have dreams and aspirations and deep within them be so in sync with each other. That was really refreshing. I have to say, it was really refreshing. And, they really, what they wanted to do and what this young love kind of helped them do was leave behind them their past disappointments, to leave behind them their past hurts, things that have been blocking them. They didn't want to deal with that anymore. They wanted to move on. They wanted to move forward and have a fresh start, a new life. And who's to blame them? I mean, they really have endured a lot in their life. And at this point, the play totally ends and they're still at the bus stop and the bus is like pulling up, and it's just the play's over. And I really liked how it ended there because your mind just keeps going and you're like, like you make the ending. But I really think that that's really cool and really creative of the author. I thought that it was so neat that that uh, that Lewis uh, that he left it like that. I thought it was really cool because I was able to make my own ending to it. And I think someone that's uh, been older, I haven't been older for that long, but someone who is older than 18, 19, I'm 28, so I can think back to those times, young love and how safe it feels. It is such a truthful rendition, I have to say. Like, such a truthful rendition of young love. It really is. And Lewis, wherever you are, Lewis Felder, you did an incredible job in this play. And yet, it's short, and who knows? I don't know if critics gave you a hard time for that. I love that it's short. I love that it left you hanging. And, that's kind of weird because I'm the type of person that I love a happy ending. But I really like that it left me hanging. It gave me the chance to be creative on my own account. And so that is my presentation of Magic Kingdom. And I hope that you guys enjoy listening to my oral presentation as I will be enjoying listening to yours. Best of luck to you. And those of you who are graduating, congratulations. We did it.